Welcome to Lawyers Without Billboards, where we break down family law and other areas of the law. No gimmicks, no legal jargon, just real, unfiltered talk from real lawyers. Join your hosts, Steve, Patty, Jimmy, and Alexa, partners at Shewmaker Lewis, a law firm based in Atlanta, Georgia. Every episode, they tackle the legal questions that matter most: divorce, custody, child support, alimony, and everything in between. They'll pull back the curtain to give you real insights on what happens inside the courtroom and beyond.
Good morning, everybody. Whoop! Lawyers Without Billboards. We're still lawyers.
I want to do the whoop. Whoop. Oh,
Whoop.
boy.
We're still doing Alexa. Whoop.
No, I'm good.
Okay. We're still lawyers.
No, wait, okay, let's judge. Do whoop. Do whoop.
We're still lawyers. We still have no billboards. And we're here on August the 9th, 2025. It's exciting. Alexa Lewis, take it away.
All right, guys. So we've had our first judge, our last episode that aired.
Judge Lyles.
Judge Lyles from Paulding County. However, we have brought in one of my very favorite judges, Judge Angela Duncan from Gwinnett County. Lies. You pay nothing. You can't say that. Coolest judge in Gwinnett County. One of my all-time favorites. I have some pretty good stories of some cases in front of her. But everyone, Angela Duncan.
I first met you when you were still a magistrate.
Yeah.
In one of the outlying courts, not even in the Gwinnett County Courthouse. And I was doing a friend of a friend thing, which was...
Shamely.
Yeah. And I hit it when I was friend of a friend thing, 6 o'clock, and I was like tap dancing in front of the judge of the night. And she's like, I know your wife. I was like, oh no. And she's like, only reason I'm going to be nice to you and give you what you want is because I know Patty. It's like, good enough for me.
I don't know why everyone's nice to you. Because they know Patty.
That was in the city of Shamely Municipal Court around maybe 17 or 18.
That's right.
Before that, Patty had a really tough case.
It was a tough case.
As a magistrate. That's one of the,
Yeah.
That one sticks with me.
Yeah. And we actually did a pretrial conference, and I got hazed by the judge.
By this judge?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, because we were talking about our military service, and she told me she worked for a living. Oh. Because she was a non-commissioned officer.
Tell us about your military service.
I was enlisted, United States Army Reserve from 1987 to 1995. I went to basic in Fort McClellan, which is no longer in existence. And then I went to Fort Leonard Wood.
Lost in the woods.
In the woods in Missouri. Yeah, that was a great summer. Before I came back home, my first unit was in Carrollton, Georgia. It was a 314th Chemical Company. Mm-hmm. I was a lightweight vehicle mechanic, so I'm old.
So you're good with cars.
Well, iffy. Old cars.
Lightweight vehicle mechanic, so you can only weigh so much to work on these cars?
That's correct. That's why they chose me. And so we worked, my class was the last class that worked on the old Jeeps from World War II.
Wow.
And then my class was the first class that worked on the Humvees.
On the Humvees.
First year
Very
the Humvees came out.
Do you know what, here's some trivia, do you know what the Army did with all of those old Jeeps from World War II?
They auctioned them off.
Not all of them. They quartered most of them, cut them in quarters and threw them away. Yeah, they auctioned a few, but not most of them.
See, I'd love to have one of those.
Landfills, wherever. I'm not making this up.
I'd love to have one.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. That'd be so cool. So Judge, I guess while you're in the military, what kind of brought you to law school?
So I decided in 7th grade that I wanted to be either a lawyer or a cop.
Okay.
And my dad, as you guys know, it was an attorney for 46 years. I'm lying. I say was. He still sneaks out at the grand old age of 82 and does a case every day.
That's so cool.
But
Local?
Local, yeah. Okay, cool. He's in Duluth. His office was in Dorville for part of that, almost all of that 46 years.
I bet he's proud of you.
He doesn't say. He doesn't tell me. But other people come up to me and tell me all the things that he's doing.
Yeah, right.
So he's an amazing man. But so I didn't know I wanted to be a lawyer. Did I want to be a police officer? I went to North Georgia College, which is now the University of North Georgia, and got a criminal justice degree. And in 1991, I really wanted to be a cop. And so...
Respect my authority.
In 1991, there was a hiring freeze. And so I applied to almost every government agency in Metro Atlanta to be in law enforcement, Atlanta, DeKalb, City of Dorville, Gwinnett County, Department of Georgia Pardons and Paroles, the GBI, And I'm trying to think of any other. And I went and did all the testing and did all the applications.
And nobody would hire you.
And I got all of them to a T were letters of, I'm sorry, we're not hiring right now.
Man.
Hiring freeze. And so my dad said, hey, if you want to go to law school, I got you.
Nice.
And I was struggling. I was a private investigator for Chadwick and Associates, making $10 an hour.
Yeah.
I worked at Shoney's part-time. So I decided to go to law school.
Where'd you go?
I went to John Marshall Law School.
Okay.
That's where Jimmy went to law school.
What year did you get out?
I graduated in 96.
96.
And took the bar in 96. And then I got sworn in January 7th of 1997.
And did you immediately start practicing with your dad?
So, so my last, I went to John Marshall. I worked full-time and I went part-time at night. And so it took me 4 years. And so my last, actually each year that I was in law school, I worked at a different firm. Cool. So I started at Fisher and Phillips in Atlanta, labor law firm. Great experience. It was right after the ADA Act came out. I worked with the now infamous Tex MacGyver on building his presentations.
You worked directly with him?
I was the law librarian assistant.
Oh, okay.
And so I did all the pulling of the statutes and helped prepare the PowerPoint presentations that they used when they were educating employees.
Yeah. Well, that had to be a big deal.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It was fascinating.
Yeah.
That firm's still around, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
It's a big labor law firm all over the country, actually. And then I left them and I went to, can I remember, Knox and Zach's. Very small, almost a boutique firm. They had an Atlanta office and an Augusta office. And Mr. Knox was in Augusta and Mr. Zach's was in Atlanta. They did a little bit of mix of everything. They did some appellate work, personal injury work, product liability work. Amazing, amazing people. Really loved working with them. And so they ended up merging with what was then Kilpatrick and Cody. And so I'd worked at Fisher and Phillips. I didn't want to go back to it. And what I was trying to do at each one was learn about different areas of the law so that I could see what kind of attorney I was.
Sure.
And I was always a peon. I mean, I was a runner. I was the law librarian. I was the receptionist. I just, whatever I could do.
Sure.
Mr. Zach's, he was amazing. He took an interest in me, and because I would sit there at the receptionist area with law books spread out everywhere and do that while I was answering the phones and study. And he let me get my toes in a little bit more, learning how to do research and stuff like that. He was an amazing man, but I didn't want to go back to a big law firm like Kilpatrick.
Sure.
And so one of the partners, his first name is Andy. I cannot remember his last name right now, but there was some type of a deal. He wasn't going to go to Kilpatrick. There was some kind of a deal as if he brought an employee with him when he went to this new law firm, he got something out of it. And so he asked me to go with him. And so then I went to Gambrell and Stoltz. You remember Judge Stoltz of Appeals? And so I went and worked there. That was my third year of law school. Again, a little bit of labor law, a little bit of everything. And I was just a runner, library, whatever they needed. And Judge Stoltz was really cool. He was, I don't know how old he was at that point. He was older, mid to late 70s, and he came into the office a couple times a week, and he was nearing retirement. But he took me to lunch one day, and that was a very memorable experience. And so after I was there for a year, I said, "Okay, Dad, I'm ready this next year."
Yeah.
And then I went back and I worked in my dad's practice. And when we started, it was Duncan and Duncan. And the first 3 years I was with him when I started practicing.
Let me ask you a question real quick. You said you went to these different firms to gain experience, to know what area you wanted to practice. Was that an agreement with your dad, or was that just something you wanted to do? Did he say, "I'm not going to hire you, I want you to go out and get other experience during law school"?
No, he was supportive of letting me try to mold and shape my own future. And he was just like, "I'm here, let me know." But I wanted to, because I'd interned with my dad in college, and so I knew I had a good idea as to what he did. Maybe not as an attorney, but I understood his practice, his field.
What does he do? I don't think he would.
So he was mainly personal injury, because he came from he was an insurance adjuster.
Okay.
And went to law school at Woodrow Wilson.
Okay.
Merged with Georgia State. And so when he came out, he was primarily PI, but he was more of a general practitioner. And I think the thing that I admire most about my dad was when he started practicing law, some of his first clients, by the time he retired, he was on great-grandchildren of those very.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Because
that's cool.
Yeah.
He taught me that practicing law is about relationships.
Yes.
And he did that. And even now, in his, and I'm using air quotes, retirement, when he shut down his practice after I became a full-time magistrate, because I went out on my own for a while, and then I came back the last 3 years or so, and it was Duncan and Duncan again. And so when he shut down his practice after I became a full-time magistrate, he changed his phone number from whatever his cell phone number was before to the office number.
Oh, wow.
So he still gets calls.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He had a sample.
Yeah. So tell me about, obviously you'd practiced for a while. What made you decide to become a judge?
Yeah, who does that?
Yeah.
You guys sound like my dad.
I didn't say that.
He's always at, why do you want to be a judge? So the joke of it is when I graduated from law school, our ceremony was at the Fox.
Oh,
In the Egyptian room.
Oh, yeah. It's a nice spot. That's a nice spot.
It was very beautiful. And we're standing outside the Fox Theater after the graduation, cap and gown, family, everything. And I got my arm around my dad, and my dad's got his arm around me. And he's like, well, you did it. And I was like, yeah, I think I want to be a judge.
The day of graduation.
Yeah. And so the laughter is actually what I heard at that same time. And he's like, why don't you try practicing law?
Sure, yeah.
But I think the seed was planted, and in 1999, June 4th, 1999, I was sworn in as my first job as a municipal court judge in the city of Chamblee. I was the youngest judge in Georgia at that time. I was 29 years old.
Wow.
And I had no idea what I was doing.
But you figured it out.
I did.
Pretty quick.
I did. And I just absolutely fell in love with it.
What do you like about being a judge?
It's an opportunity to help people in a different way.
Okay.
I mean, as a practicing attorney, again, about building those relationships, you do that with families, but you're an advocate. You're an advocate for your clients. No matter what side of the ball that you're on, you're still an advocate for your clients, and your duties and responsibilities are to be an advocate. A judge position I see it as a lot different. Some people refer to us as like umpires or referees. You call balls and strikes. That's part of what we do. But judges have a lot of discretion.
And especially in family.
It's built into the law. And so I see it as an opportunity to help people from a different perspective. When you're an attorney or when you're a party in a case, you're very caught up. The parties are caught up in their emotions.
Yeah.
In any trauma that's involved in domestic cases, any trauma that's involved in a relationship. So their perspective is different.
Yeah.
Sure. A judge doesn't have that perspective. We don't have the perspective of an advocate. We don't have the perspective of somebody who's involved in that type of trauma. And so my hope is that our vision is a little bit clearer.
Now, let me just guess. I already know the answer to the question. Your docket is about 47% criminal and about the same amount domestic. And then the smallest percentage is other stuff.
It's civil. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Were you ever a prosecutor?
No.
What do you enjoy as a judge? Do you enjoy domestic more than criminal, vice versa? What do you enjoy the most?
That's a really, I don't know that I could pick a favorite per se, because they both have positives and negatives. The domestic cases are so emotional. And so sometimes that's really, really hard. But then sometimes you can see the beauty of it, of it too. You can see something happen.
Oh, yeah.
And then the criminal cases, same thing. The criminal cases, they're not as emotional from the perspective of the court.
Right.
From the perspective of the victims and the defendant and the families, sure, it's emotional, but it's just different. So I was a criminal defense attorney. So I would probably, but I was also a domestic lawyer. And so I can't pick a favorite.
Okay, well, you don't have to. That's
Probably
cool.
depends on the day, depends on what's in front of you, depends on how hard the issues are. I know you've had some pretty tough criminal cases in the recent past with some really difficult stakes. And
Is that right?
oh, yeah. I know some of the cases I've had in front of you have been pretty entertaining. I don't know if you remember this, but I had a UCC JEA enforcement case in front of you. My client was from Jamaica. Child was brought here by mom. There was a court order in Jamaica to return the child. And I think that was a pretty difficult one because the law was 100% on my side. And I know you had a hard time just because you knew you had to send the child back.
I had to send the child back. The child hadn't seen her father in quite some time, didn't know who her father is. And I had to enforce the order from Jamaica. And the child was scared. The mother was devastated.
Yeah, she was mad.
The mother had passed on all of her fears and beliefs about the father to the child during I want to say it was a 3-year at least absence.
It's exactly right.
And
he's killing it. You're killing it.
Don't ask me what I had for breakfast yesterday.
You're the best judge ever.
but it was devastating. And I took more time and probably more than I should have, but I had a deputy go out and the dad had brought photo albums and videos of him and the child together. And so before I really did enforce the order per se, I had the mom, the dad, and the child go sit in one of our conference rooms outside of the courtroom so that the child could sit with both parents for some comfort and look at the photographs of herself with the father.
Wow.
Videos with the father to maybe create some type of maybe not so much fear.
Start to create some sort of recreate a connection.
My recollection is the mother had to be removed from the room.
She did. Yeah, I know. You were trying to lessen the trauma as much as possible, which is one of the things I adore about you as a judge is that you really, truly care about the cases in front of you. And actually, I have a pretty funny story that you could probably tell that Jimmy reminded me of his case where he had 2 parties come in and you ordered both of them to take drug tests. You remember that?
I do that all the time.
Yeah, that's a very common
All right. Note to our listeners, if you're appearing in front of Judge Duncan, there's a high probability that she'll order you to take a drug test.
Well, additional note, if you come into court and insist that the court drug test the other party,
that's exactly what it was.
Almost every judge I've ever seen, to include you, is going to say, y'all are both going to go take a drug test.
That's exactly what it was.
Wait. Have you ever ordered the attorneys to take a drug test?
I have actually said in court, I've said, Judge, they want a drug test. My client will take a drug test. Attorneys will take a drug test. And I've actually had attorneys look at me like,
No.
I will pass that drug test. Okay, I will pass it. Yes.
Same. But this case in particular was a pro se on the other side who was just adamant that Jimmy's client needed to take a drug test. You made them both do it. And they both came back positive. And I hope I can, because I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what you said. But basically, I think you asked both parties beforehand, what's going to come back? And she, the pro se party, was insistent.
Great question.
I will be clean.
Great question. Now you've lied to
Jimmy's client was honest. He said, you'll see some alcohol, you'll see some weed.
PCP.
And of course, that's what came back. Nope, it was alcohol and weed.
Kidding.
And she came back positive for several different things. And I think that's where you were like,
a cocktail.
Here's where we have a
cocktail and drugs.
Not only did you want the other side to take a test,
You lie about it.
you took a test yourself and failed it, and you lied to me. Whereas, and on a previous episode we taped today, I talked about Wayne Padgett over in Augusta. Same case I was referring to earlier. He from the bench, he goes, you come into my courtroom and you tell me you're not a perfect parent. I'm okay with that. There are no perfect parents. But you come into my courtroom and you lie.
I love Judge Padgett.
He's a good guy.
He's a good judge.
I know this is your outline. So
You're good. Go ahead.
What is your favorite word?
Oh,
My favorite word?
That's a weird question.
Yeah.
we can throw out some options for you. Like a new word that we learned today was embracery.
Yeah.
Which does not mean to hug.
Yeah, but it sounds like it does, doesn't it?
No, I recognize that word.
It means basically it's jury tampering.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you would know that as a judge. You would know that.
But isn't it a great word?
It's a weird Georgia law.
It's a crime.
It is.
It's a weird Georgia law.
You don't have a favorite word? Okay.
I mean, Dallas
Do you?
Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys?
Well, that's two words.
That's two.
So, yeah.
Dallas.
Word?
Yeah. What made you a Dallas fan?
And I got to tell this on the air.
Absolutely.
No, not if you don't want to.
My brother's a Dallas fan. I know why he's a Dallas fan.
Okay, so I grew up in Maryland, just outside of Washington, D.C.
Not near Dallas.
Nowhere near close.
No, Beltsville, right off of 495.
I know where it is.
And my mom worked in D.C., and that's where I grew up, elementary school, the whole nine. Graduated from high school there before we came down here. And when I met and fell in love for the very first time, it was with a younger man. I was
So much younger.
6.
Oh, you were 6.
He was 5.
Oh my, scandalous.
Very.
His name was Nicholas George Rodriguez.
Man, you know the middle and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You'll keep it down.
This was real love.
His birthday is February the 4th.
Oh my goodness.
Keep in touch.
I talked to him probably about 10 years ago. Was the last time we touched base when his mom.
Oh.
He's married. He's got 3 beautiful daughters up in Maryland. But yeah, he was a Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, there it is.
It's stuck.
That's hysterical.
That is
Young love.
But I'm always going to be one to rebel. So, I was surrounded by Redskins.
Fair.
My best friend in 6th grade was Joey Walton Jr., and if anybody knows anything about the NFL, Joe Walton Sr. was at that time the assistant head coach for the Washington Redskins. And
Jimmy would know that.
Jimmy would totally know that.
everything was covered in Redskins accounts, and so I would go out at the full Cowboys.
Nice. Nice.
But I got some hog memorabilia from the Washington Redskins back in the day in the 70s when they were,
But have you been to a game in Jerry World?
I've been to a game in each stadium.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Ask her some questions about courtroom and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. So I know we talked a little bit about what we were going to talk about today. You obviously see a lot of lawyers on a daily basis. Give us your pet peeves. What do you want to see? What do you not want to see? What do you really hate in the court?
Don't name me. Don't name me.
Okay. You can point to him all day long. Of course I can. This is a safe space. Of course you can talk to Steve.
That's it for me.
I really love it when the lawyers are prepared. And when I mean the lawyers prepared, some of it's basic stuff. Like they know why they're coming to court. They have
Wait. Have you had attorneys that come to court and don't know why they're there?
Yes.
That's a
No.
Serious?
like not a clue.
I like
I'm sorry, let me just interject that Judge Benton, who we need to get on here one day, she's recently appointed. I was talking to her, and she says, Steve, we keep a list of attorneys that we call them and say, that you have court next week.
Oh, my God.
And I said, am I on that list? And she goes, no. I'm like, okay. So, yes.
I don't have that list.
Right.
I feel like you should have to.
I know.
It's more rare, but yes. Or they come and they're just winging it. When you grab a file off of the table and you're just not prepared.
You mean you could tell?
Very, very much.
That's because they had to sound for a client when they got there.
That happens.
He's just looking for a compliment.
No. Am I one of the ones you could tell I'm winging it?
I can tell when you're being creative.
Oh, okay.
oh wow, so that's a nice way of putting it.
I've been creative in front of you? You don't like that. I take that as a compliment.
Well, you probably didn't roll on the floor in front of her. That's a plus.
That's a different story, different day.
That's
I had a creative criminal plea in front of you one time.
Yeah.
It was like, if I start doing the tap dance in here, will it work?
So what else don't you like?
Tell us.
Well, I think what's really, really important, when I talk about preparedness, you got to prepare your client, for what's going to happen, because that's really the biggest thing, pet peeves coming to court with your text messages not printed off.
Please tell me some.
Wanting me to look at their phone. That drives me crazy.
You know what Judge Manning says about that? She says, don't hand me your phone. If you hand me your phone, I'm going to look at what's there. Don't ask me to swipe, because if I swipe the wrong way and see something, I can't ever unremember it.
Can't unsee.
Well, Alex?
Yes.
Okay, well, people get us confused.
I didn't say that. I just said that she said that in court before.
I was at the summer conference just a couple of weeks ago, and somebody was like, "Hey, Alex." He was like, "Hey."
Okay, two things I'm going to say about that. Number one, you're a lot more reserved and sane than Alex is.
Sane.
And secondly, in the future, when I see you, I'm going to do that. We go, "Hey," just because you said it.
We both call each other or text each other and are like, "Hey, I got mistaken for you today." Or people will come in front of me, "Hey, Judge, a couple of weeks ago."
Yeah, I do that.
I just go, "Okay."
Yeah, I do that.
I'm going to start doing that to both of you intentionally, so you could text and go, "You know what that asshole did?"
It's not funny anymore if you're doing it intentionally, they know it.
Yeah, that's why they'll be texting each other saying, "Not assholes,
I just ignore him when he does stuff like that.
That's what we do too.
I already know what's coming.
What about, because we've talked about this a lot, attire in your...
I was about to ask that question.
Not like a...
Do you care what the lawyers wear? Does it matter?
Well, yeah, don't come in my courtroom in jeans and sneakers.
Well...
Which has happened.
Well, no, with an attorney.
Lawyer?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's usually criminal lawyers, though.
Oh.
But to be fair, they either didn't remember or got called in short notice and just came running to the courthouse.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay.
How about female attorneys? Because we had a whole podcast on what we believe is appropriate attire. We think you should wear heels. We think you should, look presentable. You shouldn't have your cleavage hanging out. You should look like you're going to court.
I don't. So if I think back to when I first started practicing law, I mean, I know you guys aren't going to believe me, but I used to wear dresses and skirts.
Yeah, because it was expected.
Thank you for not laughing out loud in my face.
It was expected back then as a female attorney.
You had to have pantyhose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't do that.
I remember appearing in front of Judge Mock in Gwinnett State Court, and I had forgotten my jacket, my suit coat in the car. And so it was an arraignment or a plea or something. He called me back in the hallway and crawled up one side and down the other.
Wow.
So I never did that again.
Yeah.
But yes, no, you need to be professionally attired. I don't care if you have on heels or not. I don't care if you have on pants or whatever. I do prefer a jacket.
Will you say something to attorneys that you think are not dressed appropriately?
Attorneys that have, like the jeans and sneakers that have come in, there's only two that I can think of off the top of the head, and I called them out in court. And they were male. They were not females. I don't think I've ever really had a female come in that wasn't. There have been a couple here. I'm finding that the younger generation of attorneys, and God, I feel old when I say that.
Yeah.
But the dress code seems to be a little different. It's
slipping. Yeah, it's a little more casual.
And it slips when people don't call them out.
Yeah.
And that's one of many, 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 many reasons I'll never be a judge, because, you got to get reelected. And every once in a while, a judge is so unpopular that the local bar will rebel against him. And I would absolutely call people out. I don't know that I call them out in public or in chambers, but I would say something to them, female and male. I don't want that problem.
Yeah.
So I feel for you. I do. You got a tough job.
I mean, I've said any type of thing. One of the things that another thing that I respect my dad about tremendously is that he teaches a lot when you don't even realize.
Okay.
And he's like, you never, when we were practicing together, especially in the early years, he's like, you never embarrass another attorney in front of them.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Right. You can take them back in the back hallway and tell them what an idiot they are and how they're screwing everything up, but don't do it in front of them.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you say that. I agree, because one of the things that I really used to hate when I first started, I don't have that problem anymore, and I remember it in Fulton County, and I can remember clearly who the judge or the JO was. They're like, "Oh, you must be new. I've never seen you before."
Oh, yeah.
Well, that just sends a message to your client that you don't know anything and you're new.
Yeah.
Right.
And it used to infuriate me. And it was just one of those things I had to accept. I can't change it. It'll eventually go away. But you're right, and your dad was right. That's a great lesson.
And so when I have had to fuss at a lawyer for either lack of preparedness or anything like that. I'm just like, hey, can I see you in chambers? And then I take them back in the back, but I do it in front of the other lawyer because I can't talk.
Yeah,
right.
That's that. Yeah, I can't do ex parte.
And so that will also temper my demeanor.
Sure.
Yeah,
That makes sense. That makes sense.
which is a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Judge, I know there's something you're really, really passionate about, so I definitely want to bring it up. Your accountability court, the drug court. So tell us what the drug court is.
So Gwinnett County has accountability courts. I think we have, I want to say 6 different courts. So we have drug court, mental health court, veterans court, DUI court, parent accountability court, and then we have a family court and juvenile court. It's a family accountability.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And so I have the privilege of sitting for drug court. We have 2 divisions that do drug court. So there's myself and Judge Mason. And we have those in state court and in superior court. State court has the DUI court and the veterans court. They're working on, we're pushing really hard to get a mental health court. But I have drug court and parent accountability court. And both of these, as a general principle, are they're alternative sentencing. And the purpose of both of them is to help the participants overcome whatever obstacles or barriers they have so that they can be successful. And that applies to drug court and parent accountability court. Parent accountability court is probably more along the lines of what you guys would do. It's for parents that are really far behind in their child support. Instead of incarcerating them, instead of suspending their driver's license, instead of sending them to work release, they get in the parent accountability court, and then we have, it's a state program. It's not, drug court is actually there's legislature. We have laws for it. There are none for parent accountability court. It's a state-funded program. And so parent accountability court, when they get into our program, and we try to help them get their driver's licenses, we try and help them get their GEDs. We try, if they don't have a job, job fair resources. We connect them with the ability for, like, a lot of them don't even have transportation. So Uber and Lyft have a program that they can help get them into, where for the first 2 weeks of going to work, they will give you your rides to work.
Oh, wow.
And so that's how because they're like, I can't drive because I don't have a car.
Yeah. Can't get a job because I
can't get there. Right. I'm not reliable.
And so we try to sort through all that. We are connected with Gwinnett Tech has been a great resource for providing and assisting with getting GEDs. And then there's some like welding programs and other trade-oriented programs that the state will connect them with.
That's cool.
To help them get regular improvement. And so in parent accountability court, we just meet once a month, kind of a check-in. Hey, what are you doing? What are you struggling with? In the last year or so, I've had a lot of people that are coming in with the mental health again. And so we've connected them with services to get on medication, stay on medication. And we had one gentleman that I was really scared. I mean, he was incapable of working in his mental state, applied for Social Security, had multiple suicide attempts. It was devastating, and it was literally touch and go whether he was even going to survive. He checked himself in to a treatment facility, got treatment. He graduated a few months back. He'd paid over $8,000 towards his arrearage. He has a fear of being around people. He had gotten an online job teaching English overseas via computer.
That's awesome.
And he was just a completely different man.
Wow.
You know, and it was just, it's so there's my why.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
there's my
That's super cool to see.
That's great.
But watching him go through all that, it was just amazing. And so drug court, and I'm going to get choked up. I'm just going to tell you all.
It's okay.
One of our participants passed away Thursday.
So
He did not. He did not overdose. It was a natural death.
Oh, wow.
So
well, that's good in a way.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He died sober.
Fall off. Yeah.
He died sober. And he died sober because he entered, I believe, because he entered this program. Not because of me, but because he entered this program and he really, really wanted it. But drug court it's amazing. It's an alternative to sentencing. Basically, instead of going to prison, you come to drug court. It's a 21-month, 5-phase program where the participants have to report each week. So like phase 1, you come every Friday. Phase 2, you come every other Friday. Phase 3, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
And when you get to phase 5, you don't report to court anymore. You don't have to call into the get random drug screens, a minimum of 3 every week.
Wow.
In the beginning is obviously more intensive.
Yeah.
But it's really trying to teach them how to have structure because in that life, I mean, you're running and gunning.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all about when you can get your next fix and what's going on. And, relationships are destroyed.
Yep.
Job opportunities are destroyed. Their bodies are destroyed. And we get them through that program, all of it.
Relationships with your kids.
Yep. Oh, I've had clients who've successfully done drug court, and they're different people.
I'm really happy to hear you say this because just yesterday or day before yesterday, trying to get a client of mine into a DUI court in another county, and just getting argument after argument, because, well, I can't take my Ambien if I'm in DUI court, even though it's prescribed. Well, okay, here's the deal. This program is longer. It's going to be more painful, the rehabilitation. You can't take this prescription med, but maybe your doctor can get you something else. But if you do this, you keep your license. If you do this, you don't go to jail for 120 days, third offense. If you do this, all these things fall into place, but it's going to take you longer. It's going to cost you more money. It's rehabilitative. Well, I don't like this. Okay, you always have the option for the constitutional court. That's always there for you. That's the floor. This is a privilege. So if you don't like the privilege, then we'll go the other route. But the privilege means that you're going to have to give up more. I wish I had more judges. And in fact, this is a good idea, is to, if I have a client that resists, say, well, why don't we go stand in front of the judge and let the judge tell you what the merits of this are?
Sure.
Because you obviously believe in this very much. And I think that alternative courts are great for most people. I think that's great. But I went round and round about, you need to do this. This is a good deal for you.
And so I'm just going to say that based on what you just told me, I would tell you that because I believe that addiction, alcoholism is a disease.
Yes.
It is no different than cancer, Lou Gehrig's, any other kind of diabetes, any other kind of disease.
Right.
A lot of people think it's a choice. It's not. Based on what you just said, that young person's disease is in control right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Is in control?
It's controlling. It's controlling his thought process.
We had that same conversation before you were here. Like, keep going. You're
Yeah.
Well, because what his disease is telling him is that I enter this program, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
And so the disease of addiction and alcoholism, the whole purpose of that disease is to kill you. And so whenever you put an obstacle in front of that disease, it's going to fight tooth and nail. And there's the old saying that when you're in an AA meeting or an NA meeting, your disease is out in the parking lot doing push-ups. And so, so drug court, it's changed my life. It is definitely my why. I've done it since I took the bench. I actually started when I was still a full-time magistrate. I took over in December of 2019. Was sworn in January of 2020. And it's, as you could tell, I got emotional. Alan was one of those, what we call institutionalized, had been in and out of prison, not jail, but prison since he was 17-year-old kid, more time in than out. And, there was something about him when he entered his plea into drug court. I came off the bench and I shook his hand, and he just couldn't believe it. He'd never, he'd been hurt a lot. Never had a judge come down and shake his hand.
That's great.
And he was like, I can't believe you shook my hand. And
how far into the 21 months was he?
And I looked at him and I said, you're worth it. Ace can believe it.
Yeah.
I want to say 7 months.
No.
But he was doing good.
Amazing.
That's a good story.
He was doing amazing, and he was just this past weekend diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, God.
And so I was, me and some of the team members actually went and visited him in the hospital Thursday. A few hours later, he passed.
Wow.
Good that you could get there. He was still awake, I'm hoping.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
No. Picture of that.
And there's no offense to him, but you'll have another. I'm sure you'll have another that's very meaningful, and many more.
They're all. I love every one of them. I love every one of them. And no, he was just special. There was just, sometimes you get to watch the person that comes in, and you get to watch the change happen. Like you see the light come on in their eyes. He was so nervous and amped up, and every time he came into court, and then gradually as the months have gone by, he comes in and you could see him relax. But here's the beautiful thing, because I was really upset Thursday, and the beautiful thing was he mended all of those relationships that the disease had destroyed.
Yeah.
He mended those relationships. He was back in touch with his family. He loved his niece and nephews and was back, and he got to be an uncle for them again. He was spending time with all of them. And, he told me on Thursday, he was like, for the first time in my life, I am a productive member of society. I am responsible. I have a job. I have my own place. And he was doing it, So I hate that cancer killed him, but
he had to have been happy and had peace.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. We found peace.
His sister-in-law texted and said, "Thank you guys for going to visit him." He sent me the picture, and he was just so happy.
That's great.
So he got to go meet his maker, having resolved all of those issues, and rebuild all of those things.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal.
So we'll have to tag this episode as not only you, but also the beauty of alternative.
Yeah.
That's a great message. But before we're done, I got to ask you the question we ask everybody. What's your favorite movie? Can't be Waterworld.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to say that. Except maybe you. No, him. He watches it every time it's on.
Well, that's not exactly true.
It is true.
No, it's not true. My wife lies.
It's going to be two. Can I see?
Yes, you can.
You're going to laugh. A Few Good Men.
Okay.
Shawshank Redemption.
I his laugh because they're both great films, and they both fall in that category of films that if it's on and the TV's on and Patty looks like, let's go, I'm like, and it's on, she's gonna have to pull me hot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you can hit pause now, Steve.
Yeah,
to record it too, and start it again later.
Or I could just turn the TV back on because Shawshank is playing on some channel at some point in time.
It's true.
Every day.
It's true. It's true. Well, before we let you go, I do need to ask, how are all your babies?
All the babies are good. My grand dog, German Shepherd, we've had him for the last week. And so he is going home today, and and it looks like I'm probably going to miss him going home. But
you have a Mandalorian watch band.
That's cool. Well, my other favorite would be Star Wars.
Yeah. She's a big
I am a diehard fan.
You're going to take a tour of our office. You've not been to this office before.
Once. It was when you guys were first. It wasn't even.
Yeah, you haven't said
you're getting the tour
real quick. Yeah,
I've seen pictures in the bathroom.
Yeah, but what you haven't seen is my Star Wars conference room.
Okay. No, I have actually. I have pictures of that.
Yeah, but seeing pictures is not the same.
Not since the first.
You haven't signed the guest book in the men's room.
No, and I love the ladies' bathroom, and I took a picture and set one of the little placards that's on the back of the thing when I went in there. And I will be honest and say when I went in there, I was a little disappointed that I didn't go into the men's room, but I didn't think that was.
You're gonna get an invite. Don't worry.
You will be the first lady to have signed.
No, not
all right, guys.
All right, so this has been a great.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're
great
good.
Episode.
We were never gonna
so
this up.
happy that I thought of having you here.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I know. Right.
All right.
No, that's not true.
Y'all, thanks for joining us, Lawyers Without Billboards.
Peace out.
Whoop.
Woo.
That's it for this episode of Lawyers Without Billboards. If you found this episode helpful, make sure to follow and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. For more resources or to get in touch with us, visit shewmakerandlewis.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.